Hi, this is webkinz96 and this is how to make a webkinz hoodie. To make the hoodie, you make it out of a material called fleece. It's about $2.94 a yard at Walmart, and this is about 1 yard. These are all the pieces of the hoodie pattern that I made. Each piece is labeled as to sleeve 1, sleeve 2, hoodie front, hoodie back, and this is the actual hood part itself. I actually just went into an old shirt, a webkinz shirt, and just kind of like traced and made my own patterns. If anybody's interested, I could probably message you like the dimensions or whatever for the hoodies to make yourselves. Next, you place your patterns on top of the fabric and arrange them so that they all fit. This piece is actually 6 inches longer than I normally get. It was the last of the roll of fabric and they just gave it to me free anyways. But normally I will be able to fit all these pieces, like you can see on the camera, that's about how big a yard is, so that they will all actually fit. When the fabric is folded over, it will be 8 layers thick. I put them on top this like that so that they're just, easier to cut in. Every piece, every piece of the pattern will be the same exact. Cut out all your pieces and then you'll be ready to assemble. First, fold over a little edge on the largest piece for your hoodie. This will be the seam, as you can see on the edge of this hoodie. It's so that it's nice and smooth at the edges. Like, this is how I do all the edges. So it's not just a random cut piece. They're all taken and folded over underneath to make them nice and smooth. As you can see, this is what it looks like on the one side after it's sewn, and then I will go ahead and trim away this extra little edge inside, and there we go. Make the edges for the front and the back part of the hoodies. On the sleeves, you will fold it until you see the points on the bottom, and then you sew across where they are, and then you cut and trim, and that's what the sleeves will look like. So you sew these little edges on the longest sides of all the pieces. Now the hoodie part, the front and the back, to connect them, you will put what's called the right side together, which means the part that faces outside that you see on the webkinz, you're going to put it on the inside, put the smooth edge on the inside. This little sewn edge with the rips, the cut edge is on the outside, and you will put both of these together and sew down the line to connect one side of the hoodie. You will start just above where you see the points, just maybe ½ inch over, and then sew all the way down. Do the same to the other side, and when you trim away the edges, make sure you curve it out to leave a little bit of an edge up on the top part of it, but narrower down at the bottom. These two edges now are for sleeves, so you will take one side and put it against the other, and you will sew down one side to connect one part of the sleeve. The sleeve is sewn, and now what you will do is take and match the point on the top to the point of the other side and sew down to where they meet. It's a little tricky, and you'll have to kind of finagle it on the sewing machine to get them to meet. It's hard to show you on the with one hand holding the camera, but you will go down that edge making it straight, and I'll try to show you, and then you will meet up at the edge where the two sleeves, the two sleeve parts meet, and you will sew, and it'll go down across it, and that will join the sleeve to the edge of the hoodie and to the end of the circle part where the arm is. I'll show you in a sec. Sleeves are a little tricky, but you will take it, go down, you will pinch the top part where you see the pieces meet, and you will push it down, and you will just mush everything down straight, and as it goes underneath the foot, it'll just run over this big clump, and that's where you'll meet your, that's where you'll have your connection, your joint, I guess, whatever it's called, where it all comes together under the armpit of the hoodie. It'll look like this when it comes off, comes out of there, and you can see where it's been sewn, and then you can flip over and see that this is like the other part we just sewn, and this is where they all connect in the middle. It will connect in the middle, you know, by doing that, just like kind of running over the clump, because it's all the edges of it. And you can see it's actually starting to take on like the shape of a inside out shirt. And you go ahead and do that sleeve to the other side with the other two edges. But just to add real quick, that you keep trimming so that you don't have such a very thick, you know, edge where you just sewn. Now that both sleeves are on, it's time to put the hood on. To make the hood, we will fold it in half. We place it on the machine with the sewn edge to the left, and you start about an inch in the cut side. And you will go ahead and sew down and make a curve. So you will be sewing like a half U shape. And when you're done, you just kind of like run right off the edge of the curve. This is what it should look like. You sew down in like a curve, and then you'll go ahead and trim away all this on the outside. So then you will have a shape like this, and if you can kind of see, it looks like a hood, and you just turn it inside out, and there will be your hood ready to go on the rest of the hoodie. Now to put the hood on the hoodie, make sure that your hoodie is still inside out. Make sure that your hood is the right way. So make sure that it's, you know, how it would look on the webkinz. I don't know how you say it, right side out, right side in. Make sure it's the, you know, it's inside out the right way. So then you will take the sewn part. The sewn part goes towards the front. The front will have the shorter opening. Start to put the hoodie inside. Open it up and make sure that the front two pieces will overlap. This is how it will go on to sew. But now to sew, I try to keep this piece out of the way for now and keep this piece right here, and this we will take and put on the sewing machine. So you will start with this little piece right here in the middle of that short part of the front of the hoodie. This part is probably going to be confusing because this is a very hard piece to see in terms of where it is inside of the hoodie and such, but I will try to explain it. Like I just showed how to connect the pieces, and then you put them in the machine. You start to put those two pieces together, and you start to sew around. Well, the further you go around, you have to keep an eye out for the seam that is on the hood, the part that we sewed, and make sure that is in the middle area of the back of the hoodie. See, this is where you will see, I'm sorry, this is such a dark brown hoodie, but if you can see this line going down, that is where this sewn edge, this seam will be, and it has to meet in the middle of the back of the hood. Like, see the middle of the back of the hoodie. So you just got to keep an eye out when you're sewing around that you kind of pinch this in the middle of it. You know, see, here's one end, middle, and then it goes around, so that it's not off-centered or anything. And then you just start to sew around. Now that we are coming back around to the beginning of where we started, we will put that other part of the hood on top this. So we will put both of the edges on top of each other, come around and sew them together. Now when you come back off after you finish sewing on top there, this is what it should look like after you're done sewing it. The hood is still on the inside, and this edge here, I will go around and trim everything like from the line above. I'll show you in a sec, just to trim off this excess so that it's not all inside the hood when it's on your webkinz. There, and that is all be trimmed up. If you were to cut into some of these top lines, that's okay. These are just start and stop points. The curved lines up and down are just start and stop points, as long as you don't cut below, below your main line. And now our hoodie is ready to be turned inside out. So go ahead and turn it inside out. And this is what it looks like inside out. If there's a little bunching under the sleeves like this, like where it seems like you can't pull out your, arm straight because it pulls up like the edge of the sleeve here, don't worry, it's okay. It's just, it's going on a webkinz, and once the arms are in, their little arms and stuff are in, it'll pull out everything, and make it look smooth on the webkinz. And the parts that are a little bit bunched, it's under an armpit, and for this one's dark and it's brown, but you really can't see much. So yeah, it lays on the webkin nice and straight. So, and once they're on the webkinz, you do have to kind of, because the openings of the arms are a little snug, so you might have to work your webkinz feet through them, and just make sure you kind of like, move the cotton over and kind of stretch them back into place, because sometimes once you put the shirts on, they'll just like kind of like look like they sprawled out like stiff or something. But you just got to work them back in, make sure the legs are close again. And yeah, that's about it. We will try this hoodie on a webkinz. And this is the hoodie on Rock and Roll, our Jack Russell. And as you can see, this is how it fits. And there you go. Not only do they look cute, they protect your webkinz, so they actually keep the bodies and stuff cleaner, longer. It keeps you from like wearing out the fuzz from holding it with your hands and stuff, or like going underneath their chins or whatever. So yeah, this has been a little tutorial on how to make webkinz hoodies. If you have any questions, please comment below. And thanks for watching. Bye.